You first watched her on your TV. Now you see her on your Instagram. Not only is she skilled, but she is sunshine too. I am so thrilled to welcome my next guest, Lindsay Arnold Cusick. Lindsay was born and raised right here in Utah. She started dancing at a young age and excelled quickly. In fact, once she turned 18, Lindsay auditioned for the popular reality show So You Think You Can Dance. She made it to the top 4 female dancers, and that experience propelled her into the next stage of her career. Lindsay, as many of you know, became a professional dancer for Dancing with the Stars in 2013. She did 10 seasons with the show and won the Mirrorball Trophy with partner Jordan Fisher. Since then, she has created the online workout program, The Movement Club. And Lindsay is married, we should say, to her high school sweetheart. We love those kind of love stories. And is mom to 2 darling daughters. Welcome to Studio 5, my new friend, Lindsay Arnold.
I am so excited to be here. That was quite the intro. You're so
listen,
kind.
You're quite the gal with quite the resume. We are in
So
full-on fangirl mode.
Oh, stop it. I'm so excited to be here.
It's so fun. And I debated if I was going to share this story because it feels like a plant or like a setup, but I crossed my heart it's not.
I'm so excited to hear.
Fortuitous in that my 8-year-old just in the last 2 weeks has started to get into Dancing with the Stars.
No way.
She's watching old episodes.
Oh, no way.
Now here's the cheeseball moment that I swear I'm not making up. Driving her to school this morning.
Yeah.
Kind of overcast, kind of moody.
Yeah.
She's having this like chin on hand moment staring out the window. And I said, what are you thinking? And she goes, I'm just thinking how wonderful it would have been to meet Len Goodwin. And I'm like, what? This happened. And then I got to mom brag about who I got to chat with this morning.
Oh my gosh, that melts my heart. That's so sweet. He was a sweet man. She would have loved him.
Yes, and she loves you, and this is just such a fun mom moment for me to be able to go home and brag to her. And speaking of mom moments, you have now a little dancer.
Yes, I do.
You're a dance mom.
I know.
I feel like full circle.
I know. I'm here. I'm all of a sudden in the thick of dance. We just had a dance recital on Saturday. I'm like, wait a second, how am I here? But it is the best. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really love it.
Dance mom, the title, can have a negative stereotype.
Totally.
What is your approach to the role of dance mom?
Well, I think for me, my biggest thing with my girls, I think people all the time are like, are you gonna make your girls dance? And I will never make my girls do anything unless they want to, but my biggest thing is just pushing them to be passionate about whatever they love to do. So for me, if that's dance for my girls, I'm gonna help them do everything they can to be the best at what they love. But I do think like it's really important for me, especially because I come from that world, if my daughters become dancers, like to take a back seat and let them have their moment.
Yes.
I think a lot of people also ask like, are you gonna coach your daughters? I will not do that.
You're not gonna say point that toe.
No, I need to let them learn. And I think back to like, I mean, my mom wasn't a dancer, but whenever she corrected me when I was growing up, I was like, Mom, no. Like, I just feel like I need to keep that mother-daughter relationship and like just support them and show them love and not be like a dance mom to them.
What did your parents or your mom specifically do well? Because she did raise well-rounded daughters who, yes, were successful dancers, but also successful humans where it counts. What do you look back and observe that she did well that you hope to do as also?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Yeah. I seriously, since becoming a mom, I realize how good of a job my parents did because I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is they supported us no matter what we wanted to do. They were there for every single dance performance, recital, audition, competition, everything. They were there 100% of the time, and I know without a doubt that I wouldn't have been able to pursue my career the way that I did had my parents not been there for me every step of the way.
It's a lot of dance recitals.
It is a lot.
Bless those dads.
I know.
Bless those dads. In a recent podcast interview talking about your career, you said that to be successful in the dance industry, you have to have a lot of talent, which clearly you do, but that ultimately, here's the quote that caught us, everything else matters more.
100%.
What is everything else, Lindsay?
Well, here's the thing. And right now, especially in this day, there are thousands and thousands of incredibly talented dancers.
Yes.
So that's not, and I always say to people, like, I will be the first person to say, I am not the best dancer out there. I'm not the best dancer in the world. But what gets you to the next level is your work ethic, your ability to be true to yourself and to work hard no matter what comes your way. And those are the little things that are going to get you to where you want to be. Yes, you've got to have talent, you've got to have those things, but like I said, I believe that work ethic, personality, being yourself, being a good person are going to propel you further in your career than anything else.
My husband and I have these chats often because I also have little dancers and he's like, are we really doing this? You know, as you stare at the bills and the time commitment.
I know.
And sometimes the culture that isn't always painted in the most positive light.
Totally.
But I do point to the lessons that you just described. So I think it goes back to that motherly guidance that if you are emphasizing the hard work
Totally.
and the discipline and the teamwork, then that's what drives the bus.
100%. I think all the things I learned growing up as a dancer before it even became my career propelled me into having a career, but then also being a mom. Like, I always go back to the lessons I learned growing up as a dancer in my life.
Let me ask you about one of those other lessons, and that points to a lesson of resiliency. Like, we know, just as viewers, that Dancing with the Stars can be up one week, down one week. You're pouring yourself into it. You're trying to lift, you know, a partner along the way. How did you preserve that resiliency in that role?
Well, I think with dancing, you have to learn a lot of adaptability. Like, you have to learn how to, first of all, adapt to different styles that you're doing, to different coaches that you have. On Dancing with the Stars, I had to adapt to different partners, their dancing abilities, their teaching levels, and the ways that I would get through to them. So then that carried on so much into a career, into motherhood, where you're constantly dealing with different things that you can't control, and you just have to adapt and move forward and continue going, and that has helped me so much in my life.
I want to ask you more about those motherhood moments, those adaptability moments that motherhood demands of us. You said after you had Sage, your priorities and your perspectives completely changed.
100%.
How so?
Oh, I mean, I feel like everything changed. The way I looked at life, the way that I felt fulfillment. Like, I think before that, a lot of my fulfillment came from success and from my career and reaching certain levels. But fulfillment came from a different place. It came from a feeling of peace, feeling like I had all my kind of ducks in a row, and I was really like balancing my life in the way that's important. And I feel like that just changed and shifted the way that I went about my career, about being a mom, about being a wife, a friend. And I'm so grateful for that, because I think it's important for us to all have those check-in moments of like, what really matters? What's important? And what should I put my kind of like importance in?
It takes self-accountability, though. Don't you think it's so easy to get swept up in the fun stuff of life? And at your level, that can be, you know, maybe more glittery and glamorous than for some other women. But I think even like those girlfriend retreats or those things that draw you, it does take this moment of self-reflection to say what matters most to me and how am I going to show up in that space.
100%.
Let's talk about another relationship that I know is important to you, and that's sisterhood.
Yes.
You are so close to your sisters, and your youngest sister, Riley, was on Dancing with the Stars last season. You said you were more nervous for her than you ever were for yourself, which I think just is a big sister mark, right?
Oh, totally. And I think it's preparing me for motherhood. Like, I now understand the like feeling of being nervous for your children. Like, I felt like she was my child, but yes, totally. I think it was because, not because I didn't think she was ready, but because I really couldn't control it. Like, I just had to sit back, watch, and know that she was gonna kill it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wanna like, just, you know, you wanna micromanage.
You wanna go out there and do it for her.
Yes, exactly.
You're like, I wanna take the hit and the pain.
Exactly. But it was so cool because week after week, first of all, that first week, the first show, I was so nervous, but then it was so cool how after that I started feeling so much more at ease because she absolutely killed it.
She did.
Like, she did so good. And I think I also was nervous because I would think back to myself on my first season.
Sure.
But she was so much more prepared, so much more
was
ready
she?
to, oh my gosh,
she felt
100%.
more there.
Yes, like I think it really helped that she had seen me do it, so she knew.
I was gonna say, I act surprised because you seemed very confident and there.
Well, that's
and present.
great.
So
that's great. I definitely didn't feel it. That was the plan, but definitely didn't feel it. But it was so cool to watch her on her own journey. She just absolutely killed it. I was so proud. And like I said, I feel like that was like a glimpse into what it's gonna feel like watching my children like live out their dreams. It's gonna be pretty special.
I'm also a big sister, and so I connect with you on that sisterhood vibe.
Oh,
what do you think has kept you and your sisters so close over the years?
Oh, well, we just have become actual friends. Like, I feel like it's crazy. We've become more friends in our adult years than we were when we were younger, which I think is pretty natural. When you're younger, you're friends with your sisters, but also you fight about clothes and all the little things. Yeah, natural. But being like adults now and going through so many different phases of life together. I mean, Riley doesn't have kids yet, but my other two sisters, we've all had kids together. Riley's basically like their second mom, and it's been so cool to just live through these new life changes together and rely on each other. We do spend a lot of time together, and that is so special. Like, we're very lucky that we all are so close. Yeah. Because they're my best friends.
We always say there needs to be a new name or a title for it. We say sister friends.
Yes.
Best friends, but it doesn't come close.
Right? It doesn't.
To what you're able to share with these girls who know you inside and out.
It's so true.
And have been with you every chapter. So obviously we love Dancing with the Stars here at Studio 5. You felt that. I mean, come on, you're feeling it. So does the rest of America. Can you give us just one little tidbit, one behind the scenes something that might surprise fans or viewers of the show?
Okay, I think one thing that people always ask, because it's like, you'll see it sometimes in packages of like playing up the stress and like, is it gonna happen? And I think sometimes people don't understand that like genuinely every single week is the celebrity starting from scratch, learning a new dance. And there are always moments of like, I don't think this is going to happen.
This isn't going to go.
I don't know how this is going to work out, but
Yeah.
then it always does, which is fun. Sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not as great, but it always happens. And I think that always surprises people to hear, like, and to kind of like really put in perspective, like, oh my gosh, they're learning a brand new dance and it's hard and sometimes it's barely there. I mean, there'll be days where you're in dress rehearsal and your partner forgets their dance and you're just like, okay, I guess we just got to keep going.
So the stress is real.
The stress is real, but also it's kind of addicting and really fun.
I was going to say, isn't there something thrilling about a deadline?
Oh, so thrilling.
We feel that a little bit in journalism too, like a looming deadline that make or break is going to come.
Yep, and that's the thing, is like there's no choice. It's not like, oh, we're not ready, we'll just hit you next week. No, you're doing it either way.
You have your own fitness app. I want to get into that, but you're passionate about taking care of your mind and your body. Do you have a daily habit or a ritual that you feel like helps you do that?
Well, honestly, it's just moving.
Movement.
Like, I think that has been the driving force for me throughout motherhood, because before motherhood, moving my body was my career. I didn't even have to think about it. It was something that I either had to do or wanted to do. So becoming a mom, getting pregnant, all the things, that's actually what drove me to start my workout program, the Movement Club, was I just understood the importance of movement every single day, whether that's 5 minutes truly or 30 minutes. I have workouts on my program that are the longest are 30 minutes because I really believe less is more, but as short as 5 minutes, because even if you only have 5 minutes, which we know as moms, that is like pretty much every day.
I mean, it was dance recital week, so there weren't a lot of minutes left for mom to move.
But I've noticed how even just 5 minutes a day can absolutely change your whole day. Just giving yourself that moment to just like even prepare yourself for what's going on and just settle your mind is so beneficial. So that's like my motto.
So it's an app.
Yes.
You do the program through the app. How can people sign up?
So they can sign up on movementclub.com, and you can start a 7-day free trial so you can see if it's something that you love. I put out weekly schedules. We have a full pregnancy program, postpartum program.
Oh, good. Thanks for that.
I know. We'll get you set up with an account. But I'm so passionate about it, and I love that my members are loving it as well.
Well, they love you. We love you. Thank you for the light that you bring, not just to the topic of dance, but to the topic of motherhood and everything that you stand for.
Thank you.
We are fans all the way around, Lindsay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lindsay Arnold Cusick.